Welcome to another episode for China Today 2022. Today we will be talking about the scientific achievement of China in 2021. So let's get started. I'm listing a number of achievements in no particular order. The first one is the so-called artificial sun. On May 28th, 2021, China successfully to produce a plasma and keep it running for 101 seconds with temperature of 120 million degrees. And for another test with a much higher temperature, 160 million degrees, it was able to keep it running for 20 seconds. This is a record-making sustaining of such a high temperature. This is a look of the equipment called East. China also have now long-term presence on a Chinese space station. In April 2021, the core module of the Chinese space station was successfully launched. Then in June, 3 astronauts entered the space station and stayed there for 3 months. In October, another 3 are there. They are expected to stay for up to half a year, 6 months. So at the moment, they are still on board the space station. This is the space station. The middle one is the core, and then most of their they can be connected in both ways. I think this is a photograph of the space station in orbit. Besides having the space stations on around the Earth, on the early morning of May 15, 2021, China's Tianwen #1 with its landing rover successfully soft landed on Mars after 296 days of flight. In this particular approach, China actually achieved 3 things in one journey, one mission. First of all, you will arrive at Mars and then circle around the Mars in order to pick a landing site. This is picked by autonomous AI on board the spacecraft. Then you achieve a soft landing. After achieving a soft landing, then a rover, it's called Zhouyong, is being launched in order to survey the landscape on Mars. So this is a 3 missions in one. Now we have the rover and the landing vehicle in the picture here. 2020 is a particular year where the world is being bombarded or being ruined by COVID-19. So a lot of countries started making vaccines. On May 26, 2021, China has a paper announcing the results of the phase 3 clinical trials of two coronavirus vaccines. These vaccines are the inactivated vaccines, and their protection starts about 14 days or 2 weeks after the second injection, and the protection efficiency is 72.8 and 78.1 respectively from the 2 different manufacturers. Today with corona, the Omicron, the variations, Chinese vaccine is still quite effective. China also manufactured the first inhaled COVID-19 vaccine. It is announced on November the 12th. Probably this is the world's first inhaled form of the vaccine. On September 24th, a paper describing a lab process to produce artificial starch from carbon dioxide using several enzymes in the production process is published. This is a great breakthrough. This is the first time human is able to manufacture food out of the air using carbon dioxide from the air. In terms of quantum computing, last year China has two new versions of their quantum computers achieving the so-called quantum supremacy. The picture here is announced in May 10 using a superconducting computers with 62 qubits. The more qubits it is, the bigger the solution space for typical problems. This is the experimental setup of the quantum computer, and it will be made into some kind of chips. So I think this is only a artistic illustration of the chip. The real chip, I don't think it will look like this. China also have launched its Deep Sea #1 energy station. This is a 100,000 ton deep sea semi-submersible production and storage platform used to drill into the seabed for both gas and petroleum. So this is one of those ultra deep water gas field for extracting mainly gas, natural gas. The amount of production is approximately 3 billion cubic meters per year, and that will be sufficient to power the Guangzhou region, Hong Kong region, Hainan region, etc. And it will meet about a quarter of the gas demands in the Bay Area near the Pearl River. Besides still tapping onto the fossil fuel, China has also embarked on big projects to build hydropower. We know that along the Yangtze River, we have the Three Gorge Dam, which is one of the largest hydropower stations in the world. Upstream of the Yangtze River, they are building a number of power stations as well. The higher up the stream, the more potential energy can be extracted, because the mountains are more deeper, and therefore they can build a deeper, a higher dam, and with higher dam, that means it has a more potential for hydroelectric power. On June 28th, the first two generating units of the world's largest hydropower station is now put into construction. Another interesting thing is the turbine and the generator of these two generating units are made completely using domestic technology in China, and that will provide quite a bit of energy for long-term use. The main reasons for tapping into the hydro energy along the Yangtze River is both for power as well as controlling the flood waters. So the major consideration, the consideration priority number one is actually flood control, and the second priority is hydropower generation. It is in for the Three Gorge Dam. It is a gravity dam, meaning the dam is big and heavy, and using the sheer weight of the dam to force back the water. But this one is a double curve dam, so you can see the dam is not very thick. It uses a different mechanism to hold back the water. I think this is also where China will build under the deepest laboratory to detect cosmic rays. On May 17, the Institute of High Energy Physics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences announced that they have detected a 1,400 trillion electron volts gamma photons. This is the highest energy photon ever observed by humans, and that will give us a lot of new insight into how the cosmos, our universe, is developing. This result is taken at a very high altitude laboratory, 4,410 meters high in one of those Sichuan province county. At the same time, in terms of astronomy, the China's 500-meter aperture spherical radio telescope, the largest one in the world, is now in operation on March 31st. We have an image of that. This is the telescope fast, and you can see it is quite isolated. And this is a light view of the telescope. Besides going to Mars, China and the space station, China also have launched a lunar probe, and is the fifth one, Chang'e number 5. Actually, Chang'e number 6 was sent earlier than Chang'e number 5, but Chang'e number 5 is particular in the sense that it actually bring back some lunar soil. Of course, United States have bring back quite a bit of lunar soil in previous missions. This is the first time China is able to do it. This is the landing vehicle on the moon surface. After the moon, let's go back to Earth and about the sea. China have 2 deep sea investigation vehicles. This one here is a unmanned deep sea vehicles. It achieved a maximum diving depth of 10,908 meters. So it is one of the few vehicles which can go to such a depth. And the other one, this is a manned submersible, again a very deep water submersible for work for investigating what happened under the sea. This one is also capable of diving to over 10,000 meters. China is also known for its high-speed rail. Now, China is producing high-speed magnetic levelated trains. This one will operate at 600 km per hour. It's come out from the stations on July 20. It is not yet operational commercially, but It is a testing platform for China's new magnetic levelated tray, and this is again mostly domestic technology. So we have very quickly look at a number of scientific achievements in China. Hopefully you can understand that China is now moving forward pretty quickly. In terms of ranking in the world, China now ranks at about the number 12 in terms of R&D in science and technology research. It is using approximately 2.9% of the GDP in R&D in science. What will happen next, we don't know, but I think the Chinese will be still moving forward and increasing their effort in scientific endeavors. We were looking forward to see other news things coming out from China. Thank you for listening, and hope to catch you next week again for China Today 2022.